Drummerly.com Unlimited Drama Series.
I'm under the hood of my Ford F-150 when I hear my wife Sarah laughing on the phone inside the house. The sound carries through our kitchen window like fingernails on a chalkboard. "Oh, please. David's just being his usual dramatic self," she says, voice dripping with amusement. "It's just a silly crush, nothing more. You know how he gets, acting like some kind of drama queen over every little thing." I freeze, wrench in hand. 22 years of marriage, and I've become the punchline to her jokes. "Stop worrying," Sarah continues. "David's harmless. He'll get over it like he always does." Harmless. That word hits harder than the wrench slipping and scraping my knuckles against the engine block. I suck the blood off my hand and listen as she giggles about her silly drama queen husband to whoever's feeding her this confidence. Our house sits on Maple Street in Millbrook, one of those fading Midwest towns where everyone knows everyone's business. I've lived here my whole life, built my small construction company from nothing, raised our daughter Emma in this same neighborhood where I grew up. Sarah used to love that about me, the steady, reliable guy who could fix anything and never let her down. Now I'm just the obstacle between her and whatever new life she's dreaming about. I slam the hood shut and walk inside, wiping grease on my jeans. Sarah's in the kitchen, still on the phone, her back to me. She's gotten prettier over the years, I'll give her that. The promotion to HR director at Midtech Industries came with a whole new wardrobe, a new confidence, and apparently new friends who think her husband is a joke. "I have to go," she says quickly when she sees me. "David's home." She hangs up and turns with that bright fake smile she's perfected lately. "How's the truck running?" "Fine." I grab a beer from the fridge. "Who was that?" "Just Rebecca from work. Girl talk, you know." Rebecca. I've heard that name a lot lately. Sarah's new best friend at the office, always ready with advice about how Sarah deserves better, how she's too good for this small town, too smart to be stuck with a blue-collar husband. She thinks I'm a drama queen, I say, taking a long drink. Sarah's smile falters for just a second. "What?" "I heard you laughing about your dramatic husband who gets worked up over silly crushes." I lean against the counter, studying her face. "Want to tell me about this crush that's got me so worked up?" Her cheeks flush, but she recovers quickly. "David, you're being paranoid." Rebecca was talking about her own husband. "Really? Because it sounded like you were talking about yours." "You're doing it again," she says, shaking her head with exaggerated patience, "making something out of nothing. This is exactly what I was talking about. The gaslighting is smooth, practiced." How many times has she had this conversation with Rebecca, perfecting the art of making me doubt my own ears? "Right," I say. "My mistake." But it's not a mistake, and we both know it. Something's been off for months now. The late nights at the office, the secretive phone calls, the way she lights up when she talks about work but barely looks at me during dinner. The way she's suddenly interested in working out, buying new clothes, talking about personal growth, and finding herself. I'm not stupid. I've just been hoping I was wrong. That night, after Sarah falls asleep, I do something I never thought I'd do. I check her phone. The passcode is Emma's birthday. She never changed it. Her text messages paint a picture that makes my stomach turn. Brad. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Wear that blue dress I like." Sarah. "You're terrible. What if someone sees us?" Brad. "Let them look. You're too beautiful to hide." Sarah. "David's getting suspicious. He heard me talking to Rebecca." Brad. "Maybe it's time to tell him. You can't stay married to someone you've outgrown forever." Sarah. "Soon. I just need to figure out the right way." Brad Martinez. "I know the name. Sarah's mentioned him before. The new guy in her department. Some hot shot they brought in from Chicago. Divorced. Drives a BMW. Works out at that fancy gym downtown. Everything I'm not." I screenshot everything, my hands shaking with rage, and something else, a cold, calculating anger I didn't know I possessed. Then I put the phone back exactly where I found it, and lie awake until dawn, planning. By morning, I know exactly what I'm going to do. The next day, I drive to Midtech Industries with a manila envelope full of printed screenshots. The building is all glass and steel, designed to intimidate small-town folks like me. Sarah's always loved working here. It makes her feel important, sophisticated. Better than the wife of a guy who builds decks and fixes roofs. I asked the receptionist for Jessica Chen, Brad's fiancée. Sarah mentioned her once, some marketing coordinator who's been planning her wedding for over a year. The receptionist calls up, and 5 minutes later, A petite woman in a sharp business suit steps off the elevator. Mr. Thompson, I'm Jessica. You said you had something important to discuss about Brad? She's pretty in that polished, professional way that Sarah's been trying to copy lately. Her engagement ring catches the light. A massive diamond that probably cost more than my truck. We need to talk privately, I say. It's about your fiancé and my wife. Her smile freezes. I'm sorry? I hand her the envelope. You might want to sit down for this. We find a quiet corner in the lobby. I watch her face as she opens the envelope and starts reading. The color drains from her cheeks with each screenshot. Her hands begin to tremble. This can't be real, she whispers. Brad wouldn't. We're getting married in 3 months. I found these on my wife's phone last night, I say. I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but I figured you deserved to know. Oh. She stares at a particularly explicit message, her eyes filling with tears. He told me he was working late with the team. All those nights. Yeah, well, he was working late with someone. Her phone buzzes. She looks at it and her face goes white. It's him. He's texting me right now. She shows me the screen. Hey babe, running late again tonight. Big project with Sarah Thompson. Don't wait up. The timing is almost funny. You going to answer that? Jessica's tears have stopped. Something harder has taken their place. Oh, I'm going to answer it all right. I stand up. I'll leave you to it. But Jessica, when you talk to him, you might want to ask about the other women too. Other women? Check his Instagram DMs. Sarah's not the only one he's been mentoring. Oh. I walk away, leaving Jessica staring at her phone like it's a bomb about to explode. The first domino has fallen. 20 minutes later, I'm at Murphy's boxing gym, working out my frustration on the heavy bag. Murphy's is my sanctuary, a no-nonsense place where men come to sweat out their problems without judgment. The owner, Tom Murphy, has been my best friend since high school. Oh, you look like you want to kill someone, Tom says, watching me throw combinations. My wife's cheating on me. Tom stops adjusting the speed bag. Shit, Dave. You sure? Screenshots, explicit texts, the whole thing. I throw a hard right that makes the bag swing. Found out this morning. What are you going to do? I already started. Told the guy's fiancé about an hour ago. Tom whistles low. That's cold, man. I like it. I'm just getting started. My phone buzzes. Sarah's calling, probably wondering why Jessica Chen just confronted her boyfriend with evidence of their affair. I let it go to voicemail. It buzzes again. Then again. Popular guy, Tom says. The fourth call, I answer. Yeah? David, where are you? Sarah's voice is tight with panic. We need to talk. I'm at the gym. What's up? Don't play dumb. What did you do? I don't know what you mean. Jessica Chen just called Brad screaming about text messages. She's threatening to call off their wedding. Sounds like a personal problem. David, this isn't funny. If you did something. If I did something. Sarah, I'm at the gym working out. What could I possibly have done? There's silence on the other end. She knows I know, but she can't prove I'm the one who told Jessica. The beauty of it is, I haven't done anything illegal or even technically wrong. I just shared some information with someone who had a right to know. Come home, she says finally. We need to talk. I'll be home when I'm done here. I hang up and go back to hitting the bag. Tom shakes his head, grinning. You're enjoying this, he says. You know what? I am. For the first time in months, I feel like I'm not the punchline anymore. When I finally get home, Sarah's pacing the kitchen like a caged animal. She's still in her work clothes, but her perfect composure is cracked. Sit down, she says. We need to discuss this like adults. Discuss what? Don't. Her voice is sharp. Don't pretend you don't know what happened today. Jessica Chen had screenshots of private text messages. How do you think she got those? I sit down at our kitchen table, the same table where we've shared thousands of meals, helped Emma with homework, planned our life together. Maybe Brad showed them to her? Brad would never. She stops herself, realizing what she almost admitted. Brad would never what, Sarah? She sits across from me, her hands folded. When she speaks, her voice is calm, controlled. Okay, yes, Brad and I have been close. But it's not what you think. What do I think? You think we're having an affair, but we're not. We're friends, good friends. Maybe we've gotten a little too comfortable with each other, but nothing physical has happened. Lai is so smooth, so practiced. I almost admire it. Just friends who can't wait to see each other in blue dresses? Her composure cracks a little more. You went through my phone. Yes, I did. That's a violation of privacy, David. That's what, Sarah. Worse than cheating on your husband? I'm not cheating. She slams her hand on the table. God, this is exactly what I was talking about. You blow everything out of proportion. You make me the villain when I haven't done anything wrong. Then explain the texts. We're friends. Friends flirt sometimes. It doesn't mean anything. Friends don't tell each other they've outgrown their spouses. She's quiet for a long moment. When she speaks again, her voice is different, colder, more honest. Maybe I have outgrown this, David. This house, this town, this life. Maybe I want something more than being married to someone who peaks at 45, fixing other people's problems. There it is. The truth behind all the lies and gaslighting. I'm not good enough anymore. I never was. She just finally found someone who helped her admit it. So what do you want to do about it? I ask. I want you to apologize to Jessica Chen for whatever you told her. I want you to stop going through my phone and acting like some jealous teenager. And I want you to trust me when I tell you that Brad and I are just friends. And if I don't, her smile is cold. Then maybe we need to talk about whether this marriage is working for either of us. I look at my wife, really look at her. The woman I fell in love with, married, built a life with, the mother of my daughter, the person I trusted more than anyone in the world. She's gone. This stranger sitting across from me killed her. You know what, Sarah? Maybe you're right. Maybe I am overreacting. I stand up. I'll try to do better. Her relief is visible. Good. I'm glad we can work through this like adults. Oh, absolutely. Like adults. I kiss her forehead and go upstairs, leaving her thinking she's won. But upstairs, I'm already planning my next move. If she wants to play games, I'll show her how it's done. The war has just begun. The next morning, Sarah leaves for work with a spring in her step, probably thinking she's successfully managed her dramatic husband. She has no idea that I spent the night doing research. Brad Martinez isn't just cheating with my wife. A little digging through social media and some calls to mutual acquaintances reveals a pattern. The man's a serial cheater who's been using his position at Midtech to seduce female employees for the past 2 years. Sarah's just his latest conquest, and apparently, she's too blinded by his attention to see it. But Jessica Chen is starting to see it clearly. She calls me around 10 a.m. Mr. Thompson? It's Jessica. We need to talk. We meet at a coffee shop downtown, far from Midtech. She looks like she hasn't slept, but there's a steel in her eyes that wasn't there yesterday. I confronted Brad last night, she says without preamble. He denied everything at first, then tried to convince me that your wife was pursuing him. Said she was obsessed and he was trying to let her down easy. And you believed him? For about 5 minutes. Then I checked his Instagram DMs like you suggested. She slides her phone across the table. Look at this. The messages are damning. Brad's been running the same game on at least 4 different women, including Sarah. The same compliments, the same promises, even the same lines about being trapped in his engagement. He's been cheating on me for months, Jessica says. Maybe longer. And your wife isn't the only married woman he's targeting. What are you going to do? I called off the wedding this morning. But that's not enough. She leans forward. I want him destroyed. His reputation, his job, everything. And I think you want the same thing for your wife. I study her face. Yesterday she was a victim. Today she's something more dangerous, a woman with nothing left to lose. What did you have in mind? Midtech has a strict policy about workplace relationships, especially between supervisors and subordinates. Brad's been using his position to coerce women into relationships. That's sexual harassment at minimum, possibly grounds for criminal charges. You're going to report him. We're going to report him. Your wife is just as guilty. She knew he was engaged and pursued him anyway. She's HR, David. She knows the policies better than anyone. The irony is perfect. Sarah, the HR director who's supposed to prevent workplace harassment, is actively participating in it. When? I ask. Today. I have a meeting with the CEO at 2 p.m. I'm bringing everything, the texts, the Instagram messages, testimony from the other women Brad's harassed. Your wife's career at mid-tech is over. I should feel guilty about destroying my wife's professional life. Instead, I feel something close to satisfaction. She made her choice when she decided I wasn't good enough anymore. There's something else, Jessica says. Brad's been bragging about your wife to his gym buddies. Apparently, she's been meeting him at his apartment during lunch breaks. The doorman at his building knows her by name. The image of Sarah sneaking around like a teenager makes my stomach turn. How long? At least 3 months, maybe longer. 3 months of lies. 3 months of coming home to me every night, kissing me goodnight, pretending to be my wife while planning her escape with another man. Jessica, when you destroy Brad today, make sure everyone knows exactly how long this has been going on. Make sure they know my wife was an active participant, not a victim. She nods. Consider it done. That afternoon, I'm replacing a client's deck railing when my phone explodes with calls. Sarah, then Emma, then numbers I don't recognize. I let them all go to voicemail and keep working. The first voicemail is Sarah, crying. David, please call.
She just gave me a massage! That's it!
Remember, I won't be a fool!
Watch more on Grammarly.com.
Call me back. Something terrible has happened at work. I need you. The second is Emma, angry. Dad, what did you do? Mom's boss called her into a meeting, and now she's crying in the parking lot. People are saying awful things about her online. The third is Tom Murphy. Dude, you need to check Facebook. Your wife's trending in the Millbrook community group, and it's not good. I finished nailing the last board before checking social media. The Millbrook community Facebook group has exploded with gossip. Someone leaked the story about Sarah and Brad's affair, complete with screenshots and details about their lunch meetings. The comments are brutal. Always knew Sarah Thompson thought she was too good for this town. Poor David. 20 years of marriage, and she throws it away for some city boy. My husband works at Midtech, says they're both getting fired. Karma's a bitch. She always acted like she was better than everyone else. Small towns don't forgive this kind of scandal easily. Sarah's reputation is destroyed, and it's only been 6 hours since Jessica's meeting with the CEO. When I finally get home, I find Sarah's car in the driveway, and the house dark except for the kitchen light. She's sitting at our table with a bottle of wine, still in her work clothes, mascara streaked down her cheeks. They fired me, she says without looking up. Effective immediately. Security escorted me out like I was a criminal. I pour myself a beer and sit across from her. I'm sorry. No, you're not. She looks at me with red, swollen eyes. You did this. You and that bitch Jessica Chen. You destroyed my career, my reputation, everything I worked for. I didn't make you cheat, Sarah. I wasn't cheating. She slams her wine glass down hard enough to crack it. I was having an emotional connection with someone who appreciated me. Someone who saw my potential, instead of trying to keep me small and safe in this pathetic town. An emotional connection that included fucking him in his apartment during lunch breaks? She flinches like I slapped her. How do you know about that? Jessica Chen's very thorough when she wants to destroy someone. She had witnesses, Sarah. The doorman, the neighbors, security cameras. Your emotional connection left a paper trail. Sarah's face crumbles. For a moment, she looks like the woman I married. Vulnerable, scared, human. Then the mask comes back. Fine. Yes, I slept with him. Yes, I was planning to leave you. But this, she gestures around the kitchen. This isn't a marriage anymore, David. It's a prison. I was suffocating here. So you decided to humiliate me, instead of just asking for a divorce? I was trying to find the courage to leave. Brad was helping me see that I deserved better than this. Better than me, you mean? Yes. The word hits like a physical blow. Better than a small-town contractor, who's never going to be anything more than what he is right now. Better than someone who's content to live and die in the same house where he grew up. There it is, her honest opinion of our entire life together. I'm not enough. I never was enough. I never could be enough. Well, congratulations, I say. You're free to find better. How's that working out for you? She starts crying again. Brad won't return my calls. He's blaming everything on me, saying I seduced him. Jessica's telling everyone I'm a homewrecker who destroyed their engagement. Sounds about right. David, please. I know I made mistakes, but we can fix this. We can go to counseling, work through it. I don't want to lose everything. I look at my wife, the woman who just told me she thinks she deserves better than our entire life together, and feel something die inside my chest. You already lost everything, Sarah. You just didn't realize it yet. I finish my beer and go upstairs, leaving her crying at our kitchen table. Tomorrow, I'll start planning the next phase of her education. She wanted better than me? Let's see how much better her life gets. Emma comes home from school the next day with fire in her eyes. She's 17, looks exactly like her mother did at that age, and right now she hates me with the pure intensity only teenagers can manage. Everyone's talking about Mom, she says, dropping her backpack with deliberate force. The whole school knows about the affair. Do you have any idea how humiliating this is for me? I didn't create this situation, Emma, but you made it worse. You could have handled this privately, but instead you decided to destroy Mom's life in front of the entire town. She's not wrong. I could have confronted Sarah quietly, demanded a divorce, split our assets, and moved on. Instead, I chose public humiliation. The question is whether I regret that choice. Looking at my daughter's angry face, I realize I don't regret it at all. Your mother made her choices, I say. I just made sure there were consequences. She's my mom, Dad. Whatever she did to you, she's still my mom. Emma storms upstairs, and I hear her door slam. Another relationship damaged by Sarah's betrayal. Another piece of collateral damage in this war she started. But Emma's anger is nothing compared to what happens that evening. I'm grilling burgers on our back deck when Tom Murphy shows up with two other guys from the gym, Mike Santos and Jeff Crawford. We've been friends for years, a tight group that gets together for poker games and weekend fishing trips. We need to talk, Tom says, but his usual easy smile is missing. Sure. Want a beer? This isn't a social call, Dave. Something in his tone makes me turn off the grill. What's going on? Mike steps forward. He's a big guy, works construction like me, usually the first one to crack jokes. Tonight he looks serious. We heard about what you did to Sarah. What I did? You mean what I did after I found out she was cheating on me? You humiliated her in front of the whole town, Jeff says. That's not right, man. Whatever problems you two had, you should have handled it privately. I can't believe what I'm hearing. She was fucking another man for 3 months. She told me to my face that she'd outgrown our marriage. But I'm the bad guy for exposing it? You're the bad guy for being vindictive, Tom says. Sarah made a mistake, but you went nuclear. You cost her job, destroyed her reputation, turned her into a laughingstock. A mistake? I set down my beer harder than necessary. Tom, she was planning to leave me. She was sneaking around behind my back, lying to my face every single day. That's not a mistake. That's a betrayal. So you get a divorce, Mike says. You don't ruin her life. She ruined her own life when she decided to cheat. Come on, Dave. Jeff's voice is disappointed. We've known Sarah for years. She's a good person who made a bad choice. What you did was cruel. I look at these 3 men, my closest friends, guys I've known since high school, men I've helped through their own divorces and family problems. They're looking at me like I'm a stranger. Let me get this straight, I say slowly. My wife of 22 years has been cheating on me for months. She's been lying to me, planning to leave me, telling her friends I'm not good enough for her. But because I exposed the truth instead of suffering in silence, I'm the villain? You're the villain because you went too far, Tom says. Sarah's getting death threats on Facebook, Dave. People are calling her a whore, a homewrecker. Her own neighbors won't look at her. That's not justice, that's revenge. Maybe she should have thought about that before she started fucking her coworker. Tom shakes his head. This isn't you, man. The Dave the first know doesn't destroy people, even when they hurt him. Maybe the Dave you know was a sucker who let people walk all over him. And maybe the Dave standing here now is someone we don't want to be around, Mike says. The words hit like a physical blow. These men have been my support system for 20 years. They've been the brothers I never had, the family I chose, and they're walking away because I refused to be a victim. So that's it, I ask. You're cutting me off because I didn't handle my wife's betrayal the way you think I should have? We're cutting you off because you've turned into someone we don't recognize, Jeff says. The Dave we knew would never deliberately destroy someone's life, no matter what they did to him. Tom pulls out his wallet and tosses a 20 on my deck table. For the poker game next week, don't come. They walk away, leaving me standing alone on my deck with half-cooked burgers and the smoking ruins of my oldest friendships. Inside the house, I can hear Emma on the phone with someone, probably her mother, probably talking about what a monster her father has become. Sarah's car isn't in the driveway. She's been staying at her sister's house since the scandal broke, coming by during the day to get clothes and essentials while I'm at work. I'm alone in the house I built, surrounded by the life I created. And for the first time since this started, I wonder if I've gone too far. Then I remember Sarah's voice on the phone that first day, laughing about her drama queen husband. I remember her cold smile when she told me she'd outgrown our marriage. I remember the screenshots of her telling Brad how much she was looking forward to leaving me behind. No, I haven't gone too far. I've gone exactly as far as necessary. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Your wife got what she deserved, but you're no better. Watch your back. And then another. Sarah Thompson is a whore, but at least she's not a psychopath like her husband. The threats are coming from both sides now. People who think I didn't go far enough, and people who think I went too far. Sarah's not the only one whose reputation is destroyed. Mine is too, just in a different way. I'm not the reliable, steady Dave Thompson anymore. I'm not the guy people call when they need help, the man neighbors trust, the friend who can be counted on. I'm the villain, the husband who destroyed his cheating wife instead of forgiving her, the man who chose revenge over reconciliation. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because for the first time in months, I'm not the punchline anymore. 2 weeks later, Sarah finally comes home. Not to reconcile, to collect the rest of her things and serve me with divorce papers. She's lost weight, looks older, but there's something different in her eyes. Something harder. I'm taking half of everything, she says, standing in our living room like a stranger. The house, the business, the savings accounts. My lawyer says I'm entitled to spousal support too, given how you've destroyed my career prospects. Your career prospects were destroyed when you decided to fuck your coworker, not when I exposed it. A judge might see it differently, especially when I tell them about your campaign of harassment and public humiliation. She's got a point. What I did was legal, but it wasn't kind. A sympathetic judge might see Sarah as the victim of a vindictive husband rather than a cheating wife who got caught. Fine, I say, take whatever you want, but I want something in return. You're not in a position to make demands, David. Actually, I am. I pull out my phone and show her a video. This is security footage from Brad's apartment building. Want to guess what it shows? Her face goes pale. Where did you get that? Jessica Chen's very motivated when it comes to destroying your boyfriend. Turns out Brad's been bragging to his neighbors about his married girlfriend. One of them got curious and started recording your visits. The video is damning. Sarah entering Brad's building during lunch breaks, staying for exactly 1 hour, leaving with her hair messed up and her clothes wrinkled. There's no question about what was happening during those visits. This proves you were having a physical affair for months while lying to my face about it, I continue. It also proves you were using company time for personal activities, which violates your employment contract. Midtech could sue you for breach of contract and demand return of your salary. You bastard, she whispers. Here's what's going to happen, Sarah. You're going to take your personal belongings and walk away. No spousal support, no claim on my business, no demand for half the house. You're going to disappear quietly and start over somewhere else. And if I don't, then this video goes to Midtech's legal department, along with documentation of every company resource you used to facilitate your affair. Company phone, company computer, company time. You'll be lucky if they don't press criminal charges. She stares at me like she's seeing me for the first time. You're not the man I married. No, I'm not. The man you married was weak enough to let you walk all over him. This version of me learned from his mistakes. Sarah signs the papers that afternoon, agreeing to a divorce that gives her almost nothing. She takes her clothes, her jewelry, and her car, and leaves everything else behind. No spousal support, no claim on the house, no share of my business. As she loads her suitcase into her car, she turns back one last time. I hope you're happy, she says. You've destroyed everything we built together. You destroyed it when you decided I wasn't good enough for you. I just made sure you couldn't profit from the wreckage. She drives away, and I never see her again. Emma chooses to go with her mother, which hurts more than I expected. She can't forgive me for what I did to Sarah, and maybe she never will. That's a price I'll have to live with. The house feels empty without them, but it's a clean emptiness. No more lies, no more pretending, no more wondering if I'm good enough for someone who's already decided I'm not. 6 months later, I hear through the gossip network that Sarah moved to Denver and is working as a receptionist at a dental office. Brad Martinez got fired from Midtech and is facing sexual harassment lawsuits from 3 different women. Jessica Chen got promoted to his old position and sends me a Christmas card every year. Tom Murphy and the others still don't talk to me. Emma calls once a month, but our conversations are strained. The price of revenge was higher than I expected, but I'd pay it again. Because here's what I learned. Sometimes being the villain is better than being the victim. Sometimes destroying someone who betrayed you is more satisfying than forgiving them. Sometimes the only way to win is to make sure the other person loses everything. Sarah wanted better than me? She got worse, much worse. And I sleep just fine at night knowing that. People in town still whisper when I walk by. Some think I'm a monster who destroyed his wife's life over a simple affair. Others think Sarah got what she deserved. I don't care what any of them think anymore. I built a good life once, with someone who threw it away because she thought she deserved more. I won't make that mistake again. The house is quiet now, but it's mine. The business is thriving because I put all my energy into work instead of trying to save a marriage that was already dead. My bank account is healthier because I'm not supporting a wife who thinks I'm beneath her. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. There's a difference. And sometimes, late at night when I'm sitting on the deck I built with my own hands, drinking a beer and watching the sun set over the town where I was born, I think about Sarah in her Denver apartment, working for someone else, starting over at 50 with nothing to show for 22 years of marriage except the knowledge that she threw away something real for something fake. I think about Brad Martinez, unemployed and facing lawsuits, his reputation destroyed just like he tried to destroy mine. I think about Jessica Chen, thriving in her new position, no longer planning a wedding to a man who would have cheated on her for the rest of their marriage, and I smile. Because sometimes the villain wins. Sometimes the good guy gets everything he deserves by making sure the bad guys get what they deserve. Sometimes revenge is a dish best served cold, calculated, and absolutely devastating. Sarah laughed about her drama queen husband once upon a time. She's not laughing anymore.